It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Isidro Sid Consunji, a true luminary in the world of business and infrastructure. At 74, Mr. Consunji stands at the helm as chairman and president of DMCI Holdings Incorporated, where his strategic vision and steadfast leadership have been pivotal in steering one of the Philippines' most respected conglomerates. His remarkable career spans decades and encompasses a wide array of industries, from construction and mining to power and infrastructure. In addition to his role at DMCI Holdings, Mr. Consunji holds key leadership positions across numerous companies. It's quite a long list, so bear with me. He chairs Semirara Mining and Power Corporation, DM Consunji Incorporated, DMCI Masbate Power Corporation, DMCI Mining Corporation, DMCI Power Corporation, DMCI Project Developers Incorporated, SEMCAL Industrial Park Developers Incorporated, SEM Calaca Power Corporation, SEM Calaca Rest Corporation, Semirara Claystone Incorporated, Southwest Luzon Power Generation Corporation, and Wire Rope Corporation of the Philippines. He also serves as vice chairman for Maynilad Water Holdings Company Incorporated and Maynilad Water Services Incorporated, and sits on the board of Atlas Consolidated Mining and Development Corporation. Mr. Consunji's academic credentials are as impressive as his professional achievements. A Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of the Philippines laid the foundation for his career, which was further enriched by advanced degrees in Business Economics and Management from the University of Asia and the Pacific, the Asian Institute of Management, and the IESE School in Barcelona. His contributions have been recognized with numerous accolades, including an honorary doctorate in management from AIM in 2024, the title of Most Distinguished Alumnus by the UP Alumni Association in 2024, and back-to-back recognitions as Asia's Best CEO by Corporate Governance Asia and the Asian Excellence Awards in 2023 and 2024. In 2022, he was honored as MAP Management Man of the Year. Beyond the boardroom, Mr. Consunji is deeply committed to public service and industry advancement. He currently chairs the Philippine Overseas Construction Board, serves on the board of the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines, and is a trustee for both the Asian Institute of Management and the Cultural Center of the Philippines. His previous leadership roles include presidencies of the Philippine Constructors Association and the Philippine Chamber of Coal Mines. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Isidro Sid A. Consunji, a visionary leader whose steadfast commitment and innovative approach have played a pivotal role in shaping our nation's future. Mr. Consunji.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, Cess. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be here as your keynote speaker. This is my first time attending the Sharefield event, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be among such a distinguished group of professionals. When Herbie invited me to talk to you about succession, I had to say yes, not because I'm a fan of the topic, but you do not say no to someone you respect. So I'm here now, stepping out of my comfort zone, hoping my thoughts on succession contribute to a meaningful discussion later on. Family and succession are complex issues on their own, but when combined, they become even more challenging. The fact that it's been turned into an HBO series and frequently appears in case studies in business journals and management publication, illustrates how critical and often contentious family succession can be in real world. Whether you're a company founder, a next generation leader, or advisor to such businesses, navigating succession presents unique challenges. You have to balance family and business interests, which for a number of reasons do not always align. You have to select the right successor who may or may not come from the family. This perhaps is the most divisive decision in the succession process. And after a successor has been selected, you have to prepare that person and the family for leadership transition. It could take months or years. The 1980s were a tough year for the MCI as political instability led to layoffs and uncertainty. This was when I pushed for diversification, not to go against the grain, but I thought it was a way to go forward. That decision shaped the DMCI group we see today, starting a construction company when we went public in 1995. We have since expanded into sectors that complement our engineering DNA. But our growth comes with new challenges. When a company is publicly listed, the stakes and accountability are even higher. Beyond family dynamics and emotion, succession decision must consider corporate governance, shareholder confidence, and long-term sustainability of the business. In the case of DMCI Holdings, there's another layer of complexity because of the diverse nature of our business portfolio. Before, we only need to plan succession for only one company in one business, DM Consunji Incorporated. Today, we have companies in real estate, mining, power, coal, water, and cement industries. Each one has its own unique challenges, opportunities, and demands for leadership. Finding and placing the right successor in the right company at the right time has become increasingly complicated. Do you appoint somebody with institutional knowledge or someone who can drive transformation? How important is cultural fit? Should you prioritize short-term performance or long-term potential? Or what are you willing to compromise? Expertise, vision, or values? These are the kind of questions that make succession planning both an art and a science. If only succession planning were something you could simply prompt ChatGPT or DeepSeek to analyze and resolve, that would be easy. The reality, however, is that even in all case studies, algorithm and computing power we have today, there's no formula or shortcut for succession planning because it involves intangibles like understanding personal dynamics, aligning values, engaging the cultural fit of the leader, elements that goes beyond resumes, industry knowledge, and skill sets. As the current leader passes the baton or the successor steps into leadership, it is crucial that we ensure the transition is not only smooth, but honors the past hard work, legacy, and relationships that have been built over time. In my 60s, when the investor asked me about succession planning and leadership transition, I would always shrug it off as not a problem. But when COVID-19 pandemic hit and I lost a few friends and peers unexpectedly, it became very clear to me that mortality is inevitable. It was then I realized how urgent and important it was to plan for the future, not just for the company, but for the people who rely on it. After building on my father's legacy and expanding our group to over 33,000 employees, the last thing I want to leave then is without a sense of security when I step away from the company. My father, David Consunji, officially retired in 2014 at the age of 93. Even when he was 90s, he would still go around construction work, meticulously drilling our project managers on their work program. Last January, I turned 76. Well, I have no intention of working until the 90s. I think I have a few more years before I officially retire from the DMCA group. And I would like to spend that time ensuring a smooth transition, positioning our organization for continued success, while allowing myself to enjoy the fruits of my labor and pursue other interests. So what am I going to do to ensure a smooth transition? A lot, but I'm not certain whether it is enough. Earlier, I outlined 3 basic steps for succession planning. It was easy for them to include the speech in a PowerPoint presentation, but putting them into action requires careful planning, time, and collaboration. I realize now that succession planning cannot be done overnight or in isolation. Fortunately, I'm not alone in this process. I have my siblings, our professional managers, our board of directors, who share my commitment in the MCI Group's sustainability. In the last 5 years, we have been actively working to identify and develop future leaders, to strengthen our corporate governance, and ensure that organizations are prepared for the challenges and the opportunities that lie ahead. My sister Christina leads structured leadership programs that provide participants and opportunities for purpose and develop innovative projects, execute these ideas within their roles, and gain hands-on leadership experience. To date, more than 300 individuals have completed these management development and strategic business economic programs. Many of these graduates now hold executive and managerial positions both within and beyond the DMCI group, proving that our investment in leadership development is yielding tangible results. We've also consulted with several professional advisors and institutions, including IMD Business School, Asian Institute of Development Management, regarding succession planning in family businesses to help our family members identify and establish their role within the company. We also prioritize hiring and developing local talent. More than 99% of our managerial pool consists of Filipinos, demonstrating our commitment to strengthening homegrown leadership. In our outlying facilities, we hire mostly host communities to create opportunities to support local employment, contribute to regional development, and ensure that our workforce is connected to the areas where we operate. For our family members, I hold weekly mentorship sessions with my nephews and nieces. We evaluate business opportunities and brainstorm strategies to grow our companies. While these sessions started about a decade ago, they have intensified over the last 5 years to accelerate leadership development. They also attend our company's board meetings to gain exposure to high-level decision-making, understanding governance principles, and knowing the people that works in the company. By observing the dynamics of board interactions, they also learn the valuable insights and expertise of our independent directors. Family members who choose to join the DMCI group must be prepared to contribute to the organization's success. This means having the right education and professional experience. While we do not require advanced degrees or extensive time spent in working in other countries, we do expect them to develop valuable skills and contribute to the table. They must also demonstrate a strong work ethic, uphold our core values, especially sincerity, and be willing to learn and grow within the chosen or assigned company. Equally important, they must learn how to work with each other, which is sometimes not very easy. Our professional managers, business partners, and regulators. As my father often reminded me and my sibling, as I continue to tell our next generation family, none of us are exceptional in our own. We must learn to work together, otherwise we will fail. Another important lesson that I always share with our next generation leaders, whether they're family members or professional managers, is the importance of gaining flying time, flying hours, before assuming full responsibility. Education and showing up are necessary but not enough. To become a leader, You must learn from real-world experiences, apply those lessons correctly, and to borrow from management expert Peter Drucker, it's about focusing on getting the right things done. Real growth happens when you're tested, when you make tough decisions, and when you navigate uncertainties and complexities to guide the company forward. This is something I learned early on. When I was younger, I had the opportunity to know my father's business partner. One moment that stands out when I received a telephone call from Henry C. Sr., Tatang, asking me about something, and I felt that it was a moment that said that my father was able to transfer his business partner's relationship into me. So to me, that was a very important moment. Now I try to do the same, introducing our emerging leaders to key relationships, guiding them through business dynamics, and teaching them the spoken words of leadership. We ensure that they participate in high-level meetings, not just as observers, but as contributors, lead actual projects, make tough decisions, face crises that test their ability, and to think in their feet. Those who are familiar with the MCI Group know that we are not formal, rigid, or bureaucratic. This flexibility is the core of our culture and operations, allowing us to adapt quickly to changes and respond effectively to challenges. We believe in empowering individuals, regardless of their position and background, to step up, take initiative when the situation calls for. This approach is reflected in our succession strategy, where we embrace the idea that anybody can be called to rise at any time. By removing rigid structures and hierarchies, we have created an environment where potential leaders can emerge organically based on their abilities and contributions rather than their surnames, title, or tenure. We aim to move away from personality-driven leadership and focus instead on building a leadership culture that is rooted in collaboration, shared values, and collective strength of the team. This ensures that leadership is not dependent on one individual, but is distributed across those who have the vision, the capability, and the commitment to move the DMCI Group forward. For several years now, I've stepped away from day-to-day operation, serving instead as chairman across several subsidiaries to focus on strategy and long-term vision. This is my version of semi-retirement. Well, I'm not ready to formally announce my successor. I do have a few names in mind. In the meantime, I'm actively mentoring key individuals to build a strong bench of leaders and middle management. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not entirely sure if I am doing enough in terms of succession planning. However, I'm confident we have built a strong foundation in a robust leadership pipeline. When I fully retire, I'll have the opportunity to explore the world, pursue personal interests, all with the peace of mind that comes with knowing that the DMCI Group is in capable hands regardless of who takes the reign. And when that time comes, I look forward to sharing my travel adventures and experiences with you. Maraming po salamat at magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.